What's up everybody, Mr. Damage here with a brand new video. Today I will be showing you guys how to play Freya as a jungler. We will be discussing everything there is to know about Freya, so if you're a Freya main player or just wanted to try Freya for no good reason, make sure to stay tuned in and don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you will be updated once I upload any future videos. Enjoy! First, why do you use Freya as a jungler? Well, if you're someone not aware of Freya's capabilities, Freya is someone who can deal insane damage and also tank at the same time. How did that happen? Let's discuss Freya's skills, starting off with her passive. Power of Einherjar. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly. After each skill cast, Freya gains massive extra attack speed on her next 2 basic attacks, up to 6 stacks. Freya gains 1 stack of Sacred Orb on each basic attack and can consume 2 Sacred Orb stacks to enhance her subsequent skills. More on this later once we discuss her other skills. Next is Leap of Faith. Freya jumps to the target location, dealing damage to enemies hit and pulling them towards her. With Sacred Orb buff, Freya consumes 2 stacks of Sacred Orb to increase damage and extend the AoE and stuns the target hit for 0.5 seconds. This is a very nice skill for both catching someone or for escaping. With the pull and stun effect, you are almost certain that you can destroy someone once this skill hits its target. Next is the best skill of Freya, which is the Spirit Combo. Freya strikes the target direction, gaining shield while dealing damage to enemies hit and slowing them by 30% for 0.5 seconds. With Sacred Orb buff, Freya can cast this skill again within 4 seconds at the cost of 2 stacks of Sacred Orb, up to 3 times. On the 4th cast, Freya leaps into the air and smashes the area below, dealing damage and knocking enemies airborne for 0.5 seconds. This is the bread and butter of Freya. This is the skill that lets you deal damage and tank at the same time. With each cast, you gain shield, then slow the enemies to tank and control the enemies. You also gain the bonus attack speed from your passive to deal massive damage really quick. And that doesn't end there. You can cast this skill 4 times, and on the last cast, you knock enemies up, making them vulnerable for additional punishment. Literally the best skill of Freya. Of course, lastly, her ultimate, which is the Valkyrie Descent. Freya instantly gains 6 stacks of Sacred Orb and enters Valkyrie state, gaining shield and extra physical attack. In this state, her basic attacks become ranged and deal splash damage. The Valkyrie state lasts for 10 seconds, so if gaining shield and damage every cast of Spirit Combo is not enough, you get your ultimate that gives you additional shield and damage, plus it turns you into a ranged attacker, takes the cherry on top. Very fitting for a fighter that loves to destroy the faces of its foes up front. So now you can imagine what Freya brings to the table. Now I will show you how I build Freya to destroy anyone on the Land of Dawn. Let's start with the emblem. As a jungler, I rotate often to lanes, thus I'm engaged on most fights. That is why I use the assassin emblem. 3 on agility for the movement speed, 3 on invasion for physical penetration, and killing spree for once I burst someone fast, I can still stay on fight longer because of the heal and also chase enemies because of the movement speed buff. Next is the item build. The boots I buy with Freya most of the time is Tough Boots because of the passive that reduces CC and slow duration by 30%. Very nice for a fighter that doesn't like to be controlled down. Next is Blade of Despair. We instantly get the item with the highest damage output because why not? BOD gives you damage and movement speed and more damage once you hit enemies below 50% HP. And there's no one better to explain damage than Mr. Damage. Next is Endless Battle. Gives everything Freya needs. Damage, HP, CD reduction, move speed, lifesteal. With its passive, it gives you bonus 60% true damage with your basic attacks when you cast a skill. Fits in perfectly with his second skill. Next is Berserker's Fury for additional damage because of the crits. And that is the 4 core items that I build. The last 2 items are mostly situational items depending on the enemies. If you feel like you're taking damage too much, you can try building Brute Force Breastplate for defense on both physical and magical, plus it gives you movement speed. I highly recommend this item. Other choices would be Athena's Shield for heavy magic damage lineups, Antikyras for heavy physical damage lineups. Immortality, Queen's Wings, and Dominance Eyes are also very notable items in some situations. For extra damage, you can go for Demon Hunter Sword if enemy lineup is tanky. You can also consider Malefic Roar in this situation. Wind of Nature is also a very good utility, so is Haas Claws for extra survivability because of the lifesteal. Anything depending on the situation is a good item for Freya. Just be creative, but not too creative to use magic equips, okay? So with all that said, let's look at some of my Freya gameplay showcasing her ability. And that is it for our video. Hopefully you enjoyed and learned something new. Hopefully you will also support my ML contents as I am transitioning from Ragnarok to ML. Advance thank you. See you on the next vid. Mr. Damage out.